Welcome back. Today on Shauna Breaks It Down, we're going to pay tribute to Queen Elizabeth. And I wrote this, I don't know how many times I've tried to record it. So however it is, this is the way it's going to go. So please, be patient with me. This is what it is. Here we go. On September the 8th, 2022, in her beloved home, Balmoral Castle in Scotland, Queen Elizabeth II said her last goodbyes to this world. As Queen Elizabeth Alexandria Mary Mountbatten Windsor stood outside the gates of heaven, she heard the words we all strive to hear. When it is our time to stand there in front of the gates of heaven. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have ran the race and stayed the course I have laid out for you. In being a good and faithful servant, you bring great joy to your Heavenly Father. So enter now and receive your just reward. For thy reward in heaven is greater than on earth. Well done, my good and faithful servant. For you see, Queen Elizabeth was just not the Queen of the UK and the Commonwealth countries. She was the Queen everyone looked to for the answers of life's problems. Whether the problem be big or small, her people believed in her wisdom that would help them run their race, stay their course that the Heavenly Father laid out for them. But what people would forget, the Queen was just not a queen. She was a wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter, a granddaughter, a grandmother, and a great-grandmother. So as the gates opened, the gates of heaven opened to welcome in Queen Elizabeth Alexandria Mary Mountbatten Windsor, she heard these words again. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have ran the race and stayed the course that I have laid out for your life. For being faithful, good and faithful servant, you bring great joy to your Heavenly Father. Now enter and receive your reward. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You see, I believe that she was a queen. Yeah, everybody knows it. But what people seem to forget, she wasn't the queen that was supposed to be. So, for when Queen Elizabeth walked into the gates of heaven, her greatest reward, other than to sit at the at the foot of Christ would be to hear one last time, or one more time, I should say, to hear her mother and father, her grandparents, to say to her, "Job well done. You have made us proud." To be able to walk and talk with her sister like only sisters can. But most of all, to be in the arms of the man that stole her heart at the age of 14 and made her heart whole, the love of her life, her strength and stay, Prince Philip, Mountbatten, Windsor. As she walked and she saw her parents standing there, she heard once again, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have ran the race and stayed the course that I have laid out for your life. In being a good and faithful servant, you bring great joy to your Heavenly Father. Now come and rest in the arms of your Heavenly Father." I believe that's what she's doing now. She got to hear those words one more time. She got to rejoin, I should say, the we four. She got to hear how she has made her grandparents proud, her father proud. She got to walk and talk with her sister. But most of all, she got to be in the arms of her living husband and rejoiced in the presence of her Heavenly Father. So in closing, I want to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You have ran the race and stayed the course that God had laid out for your life. And in doing so, you brought great joy to your Heavenly Father. Now enter and receive your just reward. For greater is thy reward in heaven than on earth. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Queen Elizabeth, you are loved by all, and you are admired by all. All I can say, you'll never be forgotten. And you have earned your just reward. So to the family, it might not seem it now in these days since she's passed. Everything's been going non-stop. But there will come a time when you are sitting alone in those some of the darkest hours, and you will want to hear that voice one more time. If you look deep within, you will hear it. For you see, God don't take our parents from us. he switches the role. You see, in God's infinite wisdom, He knows we cannot honestly live out the remainder of our race and our course that He has laid out for us without our parents. So when they pass, like Queen Elizabeth has, like Prince Philip has, in His infinite wisdom, when He does, He switches the role. And what I mean by that, let me explain. In the beginning, your mother, you grow. She gives you all the nourishment, everything for you to form, to develop, to grow. Once you're born, to grow and to develop into the person you are today. Okay? She teaches you and He teaches you how to be the best person you can be. But when they pass, the roles are reversed. They then turn around and become part of you. So now it is your time to walk in her footsteps. And she will be there every step of the way. When King Charles, when the problems come, and you want to say, I give up. This job is too hard. I can't do it. Just sit still and listen. Because she is there to help guide you still through that hard time. No matter what. Whether it be through the happiest times or the saddest times. She will be there. And so will Prince Philip. They're always watching over all of you. So, I want to send my deepest condolences to the whole family. And send my prayers that God would give you the strength, the peace to be able to carry on without her here on this earth. Because see, one day you too will be standing at that gate of heaven. And it is now your turn to write your welcomes, defined whether you are welcomed into the gates of heaven or to find out if you're going to be turned away. But you know, I have a sneaky suspicion that it's going to be like this. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You have ran the race that I have laid out for your life. King Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, Prince Edward, Sophie, William and Kate. Well done, my good and faithful servant. Enter now and receive your just reward. And you will get to see and hear those words to you. Well done, my son. Well done, my daughter. You have made me proud of the job you have done. And I know that would be the greatest reward, is to have her to be proud. And you can do it. Rule with a strong hand and a loving heart. So, in closing, at the end of this video, there is some pictures that I found of Queen Elizabeth throughout her whole life, and I hope you enjoy them. And don't forget, you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you will know the next time I upload. Rest in peace, Queen Elizabeth. Well done, my good and faithful servant. You brought your Heavenly Father great joy.